Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 289. We are here reviewing not a Sentai series per se, well, kind of in a ways. It's basically reviewing episodes 45 and 46 of Gokaiger. This is the tribute episode for Kakuranger. Yep. Before I continue here, some of you might be curious, am I going to cover, there's this mini-series that came after Lupin Ranger versus Panther Ranger, which led into the Sentai that was adapted for Dino Fury. I will eventually cover that, but the plan is I want to cover all those Sentai that came before that one. It's kind of similar with Turbo Ranger, where before I did that one, I want to make sure I cover all the Sentai that came before that one, because a lot of Rangers showed up for that particular special, that first episode. This was kind of the same thing, where I wanted to cover all those Sentai before I cover that one. Now, also, I should mention though, because finishing up Kakuranger, I now have officially 16 Sentai series left to go. Probably 17 by the time, basically, that the 47 Sentai Boom Ranger starts up next month. But basically, it's currently 16. Which, you're thinking, really? 16? Yes. Because when I brought the series back a few years ago, at that point, I had not covered not a lot per se. No, not really. But you're thinking, Nick, just talk about the two-parter. Well, in this two-parter, we see basically in this one where the Gokaiger are looking for the next. Well, they're basically looking for the final power. For Kakuranger, obviously, because they have pretty much all of them except for 5. I think they mentioned they don't have 5-Man, Changeman, Turbo Ranger, Sun Vulcan. Let's see. 5-Man, Turbo Ranger, Changeman, Sun Vulcan. I'm trying to think. There was one other Sentai they said they didn't have. I'm trying to think, what was it? It wasn't Jack. No, I remember what it was. Because I remember there was 5. There was 5 they didn't have. Because Bosco got his hands on. I think Flash may be another one. Now, the theory of the reason why that those 5 basically were that he got those, probably because the fact that the producers of Gokaiger probably had no plans to include him, probably because it was probably expensive to get those actors back. So, and it was probably not due to any bad blood. I'm not really sure. But that is presuming what's happened here. But, okay. I finally got the thing up here. If I can get to it now. Yeah. Basically, yeah. So basically, when it comes to... excuse me. So... yeah, so they gotta figure out where is it. Pictures all the Sentai teams, and they put like 5 this side, 5 they don't have. So they have Navi do his little prediction, and it's like 5 ninja find hide and seek, and it's obviously Kakuranger, but like then they remember what happened in episode 40, which is the Time Ranger tribute episode. So I'm thinking, why did I cover that? Why did I cover Time Ranger? Because I didn't watch Gokaiger at that point. That's simply the reason for it. But I did watch it again for a stream I did for Discord. So, they remember during that particular story that they had to protect a shrine from being destroyed. And that sets up basically this two-parter here. So they go back to that shrine, because they went back in time 2 years. They're here in present day. So, they go inside the shrine, like, what's inside this shrine? A bottle. Which, of course, basically... Mika, I think her name is, the one who's the Pink Ranger. She smashes the bottle. And it's Ninja Man! Yep. Excuse me, making his first appearance on television. First time at this point in 18 years. Because, you see, Kakuranger may have started in, actually, I think it was maybe 17 years, because Kakuranger ended in 1995. Because I think it started in 94, ended in 95. This episode probably aired, I think, in 2012. So it had been about 17 years since the last time he appeared. He surprisingly did not appear in the O Ranger versus Kakuranger special the Eden period era at all. Not sure why. It seems that basically it would be a good idea to reunite them, but nope. But yeah, and by the way, that's the same bottle he was trapped in previously, though he had been trapped there for 10 years. Now, you're thinking, 10 years. What happened 10 years prior to events this episode? Why, it was probably Hurricaneger. Yes, the very next thing I'm covering next. So, the reason why he imprisoned the bottle was not because basically he attacked humans. Nope. It's because he caused collateral damage while trying to stop 5 animals to escape from a zoo. So, okay, you're banished there for 10 years, and instead of having the white Kakuranger basically smash this time, we have Pink smash it because basically she wears white. So, then of course basically Guy immediately recognizes the fact that this is Ninja Man. Yep, because he's a Sentai fanboy. Of course he is. Some can think of him as basically, some people, when people see him, people think of, well, probably the former producer of Power Rangers, Jonathan Zacher. He was a big Sentai fanboy. And you could say this is probably the equivalent of him, but at least he's not wasting basically someone else's money and stock footage. Because I heard that's the reason why he got fired during Megaforce. So, of course, he does explain, thanks to doing a version of the announcer thing back from Kakuranger, which I love the whole, and of course they do like of course they mentioned like what happened and wondered why in the world he wasn't freed after 10 years. Well, because the Legendary War happened, which he knew nothing about that at all, which makes him the only extra hero not to be turned to a key. Nope, he was not turned to a key, which is a bit surprising. So, then, of course, basically, he has to try to trust him, watch him. Of course, after basically just warm him up, and of course, explain the whole ultimate power stuff, and get the greatest treasure of the universe, which is basically a plot thread that basically started episode 1, and it got wrapped up in the final episode of this particular series. A very disappointing fashion, but I think basically fans of Sentai basically, like, if they got rid of Sentai powers, it means to be no franchise anymore, no money. Yeah, no new toys. Nothing. Yeah, they probably teased that, but it's a good thing, basically, by the end of this particular series, they didn't go through with the plan of getting rid of the Sentai. Because it was the third, of course, they mentioned, oh yeah, we're the 35th Sentai. Yep. And of course, Mila first, they transform, they do the various teams, and of course, they have all of them wear all blue, but here's the thing, they're all lion themed. Yep. They're all lion themed. And of course, he was shocked at the fact they transformed into his own team. And at the end of the episode, right after he says he can stay with him for a bit, then Kaku White shows up. And I looked up how old this actress is who plays her. She is surprisingly 8 years older than me. And when she appeared in this episode, like, damn, she looked really good. And she was 33 when she did this episode. 33 years old. I'm like, damn. Actually, well, I think she's like 32, but damn, she looks really good. Beautiful. She did apparently return to Sentai a few years ago for Gokaiger, which I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably watch the future. Which, at that point, she was like, they said that the character she was playing was 43, but currently I think she's probably turned this year about 44. Yes. So, she's like, oh yeah, let's leave in their hands. And she's the only Kakuranger actor to return for this one because for some reason they couldn't get their hands on the other ones. Maybe they're busy. Not sure. She briefly appears at the end of the episode, and she appears in her white ninja outfit she wore from the previous series, and she's not seen again after this. She does return after this. I did re-up when she returns. She returns in about 3 movies, and that's it. Oh, and she also has some stock footage, but in person, basically about 3 times. But out of the suit, like once. Yeah, she appears a few times after this, which is not bad because it's not her era anymore. So, of course, basically, Ninja Man tries to train with them so he can trust her with the ultimate power. He doesn't know what it is yet. So, then, of course, basically, like, yeah, the only people who actually want to train are Doc, Guy, and Miki. Luca is the Yellow Ranger. So, Joe, Marvelous, and Mika just stay on the ship. They're just relaxing because, of course, they're very relaxed. And And of course, basically, they establish a trust, which they're basically about to hit Miki, but they stop because they will harm their friend. And that plays a role in this episode, which we see basically a one-shot character known as Doctor Death. No, it's not the character for Kamen Rider per se. No, it's a voodoo priest who the suit is basically a repurposed Lost Dark suit. Lost Dark is from the Ghost Ship movie, which they repurposed for the show. I guess they figured though, why not? They had the suit, just repurpose it, just use it for this one episode, and apparently it's like a voodoo priest. Though apparently you can play as sort of a yokai because they try to use various other Sentai moves against the guy, but nothing works except for the Kakuranger stuff because they battle yokai. Okay, so and of course they drive the open core, which I don't know if it's by sheer coincidence. This core they go to when they have the final battle, his thing is like, oh, I want to brainwash people with this little crystal, and apparently Guy and Don basically affected by it, and thanks to their friendship with Mika, the former princess, they will be freed. And he's like, how are you two freed? They don't really explain to him, but the power of friendship, of course. Yeah. And Marvelous basically just, at times, basically, now, you could say he's like the comic relief. He's like, he takes things very seriously. Guy is like over the top and comedic. But while Marvelous is very serious, but he tends to try to keep under control. And Guy sees Marvelous as his best friend. That's how he sees him anyways. So they go to this rock quarry, which by the way they actually track down how they find him. They when he activates a spell, because people go nuts. They track him thanks to a piece of crystal ending up on Marvelous's sword, which Navi is one basically analyze it because I think this is normally Doc's job, because Doc is possessed. Have Navi analyze it. Yes, have the robot bird analyze it. Okay, perfectly fine here. So he analyzes it, and well, they trace the source. They find him. Of course, he absorbs the crystal anyways. They go to the rock quarry, which when I saw the rock quarry, wait, is this the same place that they have the legendary battle that was depicted back in the first episode? It's just probably sheer coincidence. They probably use the same exact rock quarry. So then, of course, they transform into the Kakurangers, and they use the Kakuranger like all their movements. Though I think like Doc probably doesn't take basically Jiraiya's stuff seriously. So, but then of course they go to the Megazord mode, and then of course the ultimate power is basically having Ninja Man go giant size. Yep, no Samurai Man this time. Nope, because he's not called Novice. So then, of course, thanks to using Samara Sentai, then of course they defeat the monster. Then he goes off to visit his masters. And by the way, Bako, the supporting antagonist in this particular series. Oh, and also I should point out though, the chief of staff is not here in this episode. The reason why, because he just got killed off just the previous two-parter. Yeah, he got destroyed by the Rangers. Yep, he got destroyed. And you're thinking, really? Yeah, really, got destroyed. Man, my mouse. Hang on. Thank you. Yeah, my mouse basically decides not working. Yeah, basically basically at this point in time, basically the chief of staff had been destroyed. I think it was in 42, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up on here. Because he got destroyed before. Oh, it was actually 43, so it was just not that long ago. Yeah, just in episode 43, that's when he got destroyed. So, at this point, it had been a couple episodes since his death. So, that's the reason why he's not here. Mm-hmm. Of course, this comes right after the Christmas episode, which is Tribute to Bad Fever J. Yeah. Agram, of course, who's here. Now, the prince himself, he was destroyed in episode 38. So, it's been a bit of time since. It had been about 7 episodes since his death. But what about Ischurn? Ischurn would basically be killed off, like, after being absent for a couple episodes. She gets destroyed in the penultimate episode in this whole entire series. Yeah, if you're really curious though, how many episodes was Gokaiger? It was 51. Yep, 51. 51 episodes, and she gets killed off in the third to last episode. Basically, so after 46, she's absent for 2 straight episodes, comes back for 1 episode, gets destroyed. Now, you're probably thinking, does that one character, does she come back for other Sentai, you might ask? Well, let's answer that question. She comes back for one of the Tension movies. Let's see. She comes back for one Tension movie, which I'll be covering in the future, don't worry about that. And that's it. Yeah, she makes one more appearance after this. Yeah. Chivas Abdominis, I had to bring up basically him. You might think, okay, does he return after this series wraps up? Because I never mentioned this before when I talked about Gokaiger. I did my review of this. Gosh, this was like 8 years ago. He returns in 3 movies. Yes, 3 movies. In the Gokaiger vs. GoBus movie, which I will talk about that probably again in the future. The Tension movie, and basically, he pops in 3 movies. So, 3 appearances right after this series wraps up. As for the Prince, War Gil, he pops up in 3, let's see, I think he pops up in just 1 movie. Yeah, he pops up in 1 movie. It was in the first Tension movie. Yep, first Tension movie. Which, of course, they joke, like, which Marvelous when he was the Emperor in that movie, which I'll talk about in the future, because that movie is a lot of fun. Yeah. The Emperor himself, I think he'll pop also in the movie as well. Yes, he pop up in at least 2 movies. Actually, 1 movie. He pops up in a Tension movie, and that was it. Yep. Bozork, who got killed off also in 38 as well, which is interesting. Does he come back after this series? Sadly, no. He does not come back after this. It seems as though 38 basically saw the death of him and War Gil. Yes. Not really sure exactly why. Yeah. But I'll eventually talk more about this stuff in the future, but damn. It is strange the fact the Emperor pops up for like 1 movie after the show wraps up, and that was it. There was also like a guy called Bogus Gil. He's probably supposed to be like, I don't know, like the brother. Oh, it's his nephew, yes. But Bogus Gil is his nephew. Gatos Gil, I believe, is supposed to be another nephew of his. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he pops up in one series. Zooanger. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But in the case of two-parter, it's really good. It's nice seeing also the cloud, which, yeah, in the case when it popped up in Kakuranger, it looked like a very much like 90s style cloud. Here it looks like a traditional cloud. I'm surprised they updated that cloud, but it's fine. It's still a cloud, though. It looks smaller. Yes, it looks smaller than the original cloud. The original cloud was like a big puffy thing. This is like a small thing, and expect Ninja Man to ride that thing. Yeah. But an excellent two-part nonetheless. Okay, so that's it, particular view. Next episode is going to be Comic Corners. Okay, thanks, Bill. Bye.